All right. Hi, everyone. It's Global Scholarships, and I'm your host, Az, and we're here with another weekly live stream. Let me just start the TikTok live stream as well. Okay. All right. So it looks like it's working. Yeah, this. Okay. Good. All right. We're online there too. Okay. Hi, everyone. So again, we are here with another weekly live stream. I'm here joined by Eamon. Hi, Eamon. How are you? How are you doing? How are things going with you?
Hi, yes. I'm doing well, thank you. Things are going good.
All right.
How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine as well. It's okay. Weather is a little bit better here than like last couple of days. So yeah, it's looking good. So anyway, hi everyone. We are like if you're new here, we are Global Scholarships. As you can see, we have our website here, globalscholarships.com. So if you're interested in, hi there, people started joining in already. So if you're interested in scholarships or studying abroad in general, we are sharing information on both our website globalscholarships.com. We also have a YouTube channel if you're watching this on TikTok. Hi there. So basically we have quite a lot of guides here, as you can see, about different courses, about different scholarships, different schools, different countries to study. Hi there. Hi, hello. So also as you can see, we have our search tool, which is a great and free tool. It's completely free. You don't need like a registration. You don't need an account or anything. You can just come in and look for scholarships. Basically, if you have a place or a scholarship or university in mind, you can just type it in. For example, if you want to study in United States, you can just come here, choose United States. Hi there. And then, as you can see, our search tool gives you the results. As you can see, about like 1,800 scholarships, and then you can further filter these based on degree, location, scholarship type. So basically, scholarship type is there are 3 different scholarship types: partial funding, full tuition, full funding. Partial funding means it covers less than just tuition fees. Full tuition means it covers entirety of tuition fees, and full funding means it covers tuition fees and then gives you some more financial aid, like could be stipend, it could be accommodation, and etc. Right? You can choose that here. You can choose deadline. Also, you can choose your subject and nationality. It's not visible in this weird frame rate I have to use for this like vertical live stream, but as you can see, you can also filter for your subject and nationality. So let's say you are looking for a master's scholarship, a full funding scholarship that is open right now for applications, and you want to study, let's say, data science, and you're like just like me from Turkey, okay. As you can see, you can type like filter it in, and as you can see, we have 15 scholarships that are open for all of these filters right now. These are the ones that are open for application at this moment. How do we apply? ECOE. Let me just try to. Okay, oh, I see. Because there are 2. Oh, my webcam. It should be fixed now. Thank you very much for the feedback. So how do you apply for these? Basically, if you're interested in any one of them, you can just click on that and go to our page for that scholarship, right? So this is our page that we have in Global Scholarships for every scholarship. Basically, we have all the information that we might need, like level of study, like we have summary here, and then we have coverage information. As you can see, this covers 100% of tuition fees and a living stipend. We have eligibility criteria, application procedure, we have deadlines, and then under here you can just click on apply now to go to the universities page. Are they? Yes, this one. Thank you very much for the sound feedback, by the way. Yes, this is, for example, fully funded. We're gonna see a couple of scholarships today. Every live stream we also see we see a couple of scholarships as like demonstration, showcase, and you can also it's also a Q&A. Basically, all the scholarships we're gonna see today are fully funded. this one as well. And then you can go to the university's website and like ask for their like if you want more information, you can ask to the university directly by using like this. Pretty much gives you quite a lot of information. You can use contact information, or if you have other questions, you can just type your questions in comment section of our website, and Hyun Lee, which is the founder of Global Scholarships, will answer them. He answers every question. I've never seen an unanswered question here in the comment section of the website. So yeah, basically this is, where is the joining link? There is no joining link. Let me just share the link with you. So hang on, no, not this. Okay, it's globalscholarships.com. That's pretty much it. You don't create an account. Like there is no registration or something. There is no like fee payment. It's completely free. Just go to the globalscholarships.com website, and as you can see in the front page, you can just use this one, the search tool. You can just hit enter if you don't have anything in your mind. If you're asking for joining link, as in like a link to apply for the scholarship, you don't apply to the scholarship by just like clicking a link. They usually have more complicated further process. I'm from Turkey, so like for every scholarship it can be different. The scholarship like application process, some of them are like you apply when you apply to the university. I live in Turkey. So yeah, this is our search tool. It's an amazing tool. I use it all the time. I highly advise you to use it too. And as you can see, we have guides here as well. For that, I'm gonna have to mess up the frame rate a little bit. So as you can see, we have different guides and articles. No, it doesn't open. Sorry, frame rate really kind of mess up everything. Yeah, as you can see, we have like ultimate study guides, application guides. Can I use this? No. Hang on. Like cheap and free universities. Oh my god, it's okay. Yeah, cost of studying and cost of living. So I'm a student in Turkey at my 4th year. Can I get scholarship and move to other countries for my last year? So you want to transfer to another country and another school in another country. Sorry, hang on. I'm gonna have to wait. Eamon, can you answer this? I'm gonna be back in a second.
Yeah, sure. It's possible, but highly unlikely. It just depends on where you want to study and how they view your system of education and overall your degree, because for most universities, you need to basically, if you're doing a master's degree, you need to start from the first year. If you're doing an undergraduate degree, you need to apply for first year. Transfer in the same country is more likely, but from a country to another, it's highly unlikely.
So doesn't matter as in like the scholarship doesn't matter, the university doesn't matter. Okay, they got the answers. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna see a couple of scholarships for like general showcasing. But at any point, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them and help you. All right. So the first scholarship of the day, right? Yeah. So hang on. It is Super KUSE scholarship at Kyoto University of Advanced Science in Japan. So this is for bachelor's, master's, and PhD students. It's full funding. Have you guys helped someone else before, like to get a scholarship? I think isn't like they are asking isn't like personal advice, counseling. I think it used to be, Eamon, right?
So Hyun did that before, and we have restarted this. So you can go to our website, um, to global scholarships. Then I think you go to the About Us section, and then talk to a counselor, and then you can fill out a
Yeah.
form. And yeah, you'll get the help.
So yeah, this is Pursuit Degree Abroad with expert guidance. If you're interested in, I shared the link. Did you guys help someone else before? So yeah, it used to be to get funded. Oh, do you mean like the global scholarships funding a scholarship? If you're asking like that, I don't think that is something that we do or we have done. Ayman, right?
No, we do. Yeah, we offer a
Oh,
scholarship of $3,000 to any student who get admitted to a university abroad. Applications are open. Last
right.
year we did a $1,000 scholarship to 3 recipients, but this year we decided to do a 3,000 scholarship for 1 student. So if you're admitted to any university abroad and you have your letter of acceptance or admission, then you can go to our scholarship page. I think you can just type Global Scholarships $3,000 scholarship and on Google, and you'll find it. And then you can just fill out a form. You have to write an essay, and that's it. And then you're just you qualify for the scholarship. We'll contact the winner in, I believe, around May or June 2025.
All right. Thank you very much, Eman. Yeah. So I guess you can see that like again by searching it on Google. So all right. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask them. I think they're still here. All right. So this is, as you can see, it's full funding. Full funding means it covers more than just tuition fees. It covers tuition fees and then gives you some more. And as you will see, this gives quite a lot more than just tuition fees. All right. So as you can see, there are no specific nationalities for this one. There are no subjects for this one. A lot of people come to our live streams and ask, like, I'm from this country, I'm from this nation, I want to study this particular subject. Can I find scholarships? As you can see, most scholarships don't have any any nationality criteria for application. And subjects are usually also not a criteria, like most subjects are eligible. Basically, what you would do well is just like go to the university you want to study or go to the university that this scholarship is in and look for subjects they offer. Like if they are offering a subject you're interested in, probably there are scholarships that are offered for that subject as well. So basically nationality and subject doesn't matter all that much most of the time. Keep that in mind. So again, as you can see, admission deadlines are in the future. And again, what it covers tuition fees, 100% of tuition fees, which I believe like can get up to $10,000. It covers admission fee, and it covers a stipend for personal expenses worth 1,200,000 Japanese yens per year, which is about, like, if I remember, a little bit more than $8,000. So you get about $8,000 every year. Actually, it's like half that per term, if I remember correctly. So you get like $4,000 per term. So Kyoto is not as expensive as like Tokyo would be. Tokyo is one of the most expensive places to live in on Earth. So Kyoto is not that expensive, but it is still one of the most more attractive places in Japan. So it will still be quite expensive. So I don't think $4,000 per term would be quite enough to cover all of your expenses. So keep that in mind. But again, still $4,000 per term is still a very good amount. And now the school, Kyoto University of Advanced Science. It's not a very large school or very high ranking school. It's a school in Kyoto, which, as you can see, it's kind of a small school. Not that many scholarships as well. You can get more information here about like the admission process, about deadlines, and as you can see, we have also tuition fee information. Basically, this university's tuition fee is about like $10,000, $8,000. Yeah, it's not extremely high. It's not as high as universities in places like United States, United Kingdom, or Australia, but still $10,000 every year can be quite unaffordable for a lot of people. And if you want to see where the university is, we can just use Google Maps for that. As you can see, it's here. Hang on. It's here in Kyoto, in Japan, right? So let's see the university. So this is the university, again, not like one of the extremely high ranking universities in Japan, but it's a good university if you want to study in Japan. And this scholarship, as you can see, like it covers tuition, it covers admission fee, it covers your like a generous stipend. And as you can see, for eligibility, you have to be academically excellent. So basically, this is kind of a merit-based scholarship. Like you have to be academically really competitive to be able to get this. So like it's not based on your needs. We have application procedure here, as you can see. So they also have deadline. Now, if you want to get more information, you can here click on apply now and go to the university's website, like page for this scholarship. Okay, so I'm gonna have to kind of expand this a little bit. All right. So as you can see, there are actually you can't see, cannot see that. Hang on. Okay. How about this? So as you can see, there are more. Yeah, this is better. More scholarships. So this one, Super KUASE scholarship, is the one we are talking about. But as you can see, they have other scholarships as well. Like this is like one of them is 30% tuition and admission fee reduction. One of them is 50% reduction. One of them is 100% reduction. And as you can see, Super KUASE scholarship basically not only 100% reduction, but also gives you a stipend. And this is for all the programs, right? So we have eligibility information here. Students who will enroll in KUAS demonstrate outstanding academic performance in their application and have indicated their intent on the scholarship. So we have application period, we have scholarship period. So these are kind of important in the sense that one of them is about like application. Applicants will be informed of their scholarship application and enrollment application results at the same time. So here's the important one. Scholarship recipients who fail to maintain a high level of academic performance or are found to have behaved in a way that damages the reputation of KUAS will have their scholarship revoked. So basically, not only you have to have high academic excellence to get the scholarship, but you also have to keep it up all the time or it will be revoked. Other than that, we have some other scholarships as well, as you can see, for undergraduates, like KUAS Outstanding Scholarship, this one, and now quite a number of scholarships here. This is basically for the same school. We have also for graduate students too. Yeah, the school has a number of scholarships, but the most comprehensive one, the most generous one is this one. People who are really academically excellent, you get like your tuition fees covered, your application fees covered, and you get like $8,000 a year in financial aid. So it's really quite generous in a way that you don't really see very often in Japanese scholarships. All right, Eamon, do you want to add anything about this scholarship?
Nothing much really. It's quite the generous scholarship from a private university in Japan. Yeah, Kyoto University of Applied. Is it Applied Science?
Advanced.
Oh yeah, Advanced Science. So I was pretty sure it was on Applied. So it's a pretty good university. I've seen a lot of good reviews as far as this university is concerned. I think at one point, people were not happy when the university started, but I actually saw great reviews in recent years.
Mhm.
Um, so it is a great university for students who want to study in Japan. The scholarship is quite generous. It's based on merit, so it's not based on your financial need. You'd actually have to have uh, good academic records. Other than that, probably good recommendations letters as well, because those go a long way. But uh, other than that, I highly advise international students to go for the scholarship in this specific university.
Mhm. All right, thank you very much, everyone. So I'm gonna move on to our second, the next scholarship of the day. But again, if you have any questions at any point, just feel free to ask them in the chat, and like we'll do our best to answer them for you. Right? We have a question on YouTube. Sir, what is the eligibility for Sri Lankan students for study medicine in Japan University? General, okay. You know what? I'm gonna refer it to you. Forward to you.
I I'm really not sure
400 graduate.
what the general eligibility criteria for specific nationalities are. Um, so medicine is a hard degree to get into abroad, uh, mostly because I think that the expectation with any degree is that you would go back to your home country, and uh, the health sector is always in need of doctors. So there's always this um this expectation of you returning to your home country after finishing your degree, and then this expectation of medical schools to actually become uh, doctors, residents, the moment they finish their degree. So it's always a hard degree to get into in any country.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's the extent of my knowledge. I think the rest you'd actually need to do extensive research in order to know what uh, the specific eligibility are for Sri Lankan students, because I actually wouldn't know that.
Okay, so uh, we have also this article, best medical schools in Japan. So like if you're interested, you can look into these schools and their application process as well. We have pages for every single one of them, and then you can go to and look at the universities pages for application process and etc. So I guess that would be able to give you more information. For example, like this is Nagoya University. This is our page for Nagoya University, right? You can just go here, click on Bachelor International Students Admission page, and then get more information about every single university. Probably like they would have like that would have better information for you. Information for international students, I guess. Can see more here, or prospective students. Yeah, I guess like you can use that one to get more information, specific information. All right. Okay, so I was going to move on to our next scholarship. Yeah. So, on. All right. Hi, people are joining in. So this is study at Nankai President's Scholarship at Nankai University. So this is in China. This is for bachelor's, master's, and PhD students in Nankai University in China. It's full funding. So basically, universities in China, usually they have like just one scholarship for like every degree level. Like that, it covers every degree level. And then also they usually have like different tiers of scholarships, like as you can see here, third tier, second tier, first tier, and then outstanding scholarship. So basically they're available for all the students studying in that school. This is one of them. It's full funding meaning it covers more than just the tuition fees, but again, as I said, there are different tiers, and like the highest tier gives you more than just tuition fees. It's full funding, but there are lower tiers and some of them are not full funding. We're gonna see them in more detail in a second, but basically, as you can see, we have like for the third tier scholarship, which is the like lowest tier, you have comprehensive living allowance. For the second tier, you have tuition. First tier, you have tuition and partial living allowance, which also like already is full funding scholarship. But also you get outstanding scholarship tier, which is tuition and comprehensive living allowance. So like it gives you tuition fees and also gives you comprehensive living allowance. How much is comprehensive living allowance? We don't have any information on that really. So yeah, the university, Nankai University, it's in China. If you want to study in China, it could be a good option. It's kind of a large-ish medium population school for China. There are other scholarships as well. We're gonna see them too. It's in Tianjin or Tianjin, based on how you pronounce it. And as you can see, we have more information here about like the admission process, about the deadlines, about the tuition fees. As you can see, it's about like $3,000 to $8,000. It can be quite unaffordable for a lot of people. It's not as extremely high as a couple of scholarships that we're going to see today. A couple of schools that we're going to see today. But still, like $8,000 every year may not be affordable for a lot of people. So it's good that this scholarship covers like 3 out of 4 tiers cover the tuition fees. If you want to see where it is, we can look at that. Again, it's in Tianjin in China. It's kind of close to Beijing. It's kind of like an important port city. So basically, this is China, and this is Tianjin or Tianjin. So this is where the school is. It's not as expensive as Beijing, but still, like it's kind of a port city. It's an important city. It would still be a little bit expensive, but again, a lot of cities in China are way more affordable compared to places like I know Japan or South Korea. So yeah, if you want to study in China, this might be a good option for you. Anyway, this is the school. All right, so let's get more information about the scholarship. Basically, as you can see, we have the coverage here. We have the eligibility criteria. You need to be self-supporting, which means that they cannot be receiving any other scholarships at the moment. Most Chinese universities have that criterion for their scholarships. Like if you are getting another scholarship, you cannot apply for their ones. So we have application procedure here. As you can see, it has an online application. You basically log into the online service registration platform, provide application information, and then wait for the results. And we have the deadline here. Also, we have a video for this one on our YouTube channel. And if you want to get even more information, you can just click on Apply Now here to go to the university's page. And as you can see, now, there are a couple of scholarships here. Not all of them are the one we are talking about right now. As you can see, we have All right, we have another question. So normally study in Japan through undergraduate scholarships, what they expect as basic eligibility. Will they ask good passes? I think that's what's written there. I cannot see. Advanced level exam. Amen?
Yeah, so I've been reading up on this right now, and generally, what the general consensus is that there are no actual restrictions, um, on international students studying medicine in Japan, but uh, in practice, there are very, very few students who actually study medicine there. The first general expectation is that you speak fluent Japanese in order to pass the entrance exam. And unless you have started studying Japanese at a young age or lived in Japan for a long time or are fluent in Japanese, it is borderline uh, impossible to pass the entrance exam. I think the medicine courses in Japan are taught in Japanese, and uh, so there are a lot of things that require language knowledge, and that's what you would need. So basically, that's the general thing that you should be worried about more than anything else.
Okay, thank you very much. If you have any other questions, can ask them in the chat. All right, so there are a couple of different scholarships here. All of them start with study at Nankai, but this one is President's Scholarship, the one we are talking about. This one academic excellence, and this one is program specific. As you can see, we have like pretty much the same information here. May 31 each year. Target group is new students and non-Chinese and self-supporting, so not receiving any other scholarships. That is quite important. Okay, and as you can see, we have application process here, which is the same, and we have the coverage, which is the same information. Again, like it says, a comprehensive living allowance. Like we don't have information on how much is that scholarship, but I can only guess it would be probably less than the tuition fee, since they have put it on a lower tier, a third tier, and the tuition fees are the second tier. So yeah, I think it would be less, but we don't have any information. And we have contact information here. So to get in medicine Japan, EJU is needed. With fluence in Japan, do we need Japanese? Do we need something else? Amen.
So for medicine, so that's as I said, that's the main requirement, because you'd actually need to sit for an entrance exam, and that's why you'd need fluency in Japanese. Of course, the expectation is always your grades are important when you apply for such a degree. So you need to have nearly perfect GPA or weighted GPA. So depending on what they're asking for. Um, yeah, so I think that's that's all that is required, or as far as I know, at least.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. So, do you have anything to add about this scholarship? I believe we have actually seen this scholarship before. Like it's kind of normal. Like it's kind of like other scholarships we've seen in China. Not much to add here. Do you want to add anything about this?
Yeah, so it's quite typical. It's the standard tiered scholarship. for students who want to study in China. I think the one difference is that, well, it's not difference, but it's just from what we're used to is that this one is offered to masters and PhD students exclusively. Uh, I think China is one of those countries that is slept on and that
Mhm.
international students don't really consider when they want to study abroad, but they offer many generous scholarships. And that's why if you want to study abroad, um, and you don't want to face any kind of major competition in comparison to other countries, I think China is a great destination for this. The quality of education is good. The universities are good, and the scholarships are quite generous, especially the high tiered one, maybe tier one, tier two. Those are the ones to aim for.
Yeah. Um, I think too, like a lot of people are interested in studying in people like for Asia, Japan, they like focus on Japan or South Korea, and like it's kind of almost impossible to go there if you don't already have quite a lot of savings or like financial means in your hand, because it can get really expensive, and China is like comparatively way more affordable, and pretty much every university we've seen has these different multi-tiered scholarships. Yeah, that's okay. We have another question. I have given NEET exam for India. Can I be eligible then, sir? I'm not sure if I understand the question. Maybe you can understand it.
Um, so isn't the NEET exam the one um, you need to be admitted for a medical degree? But I believe that only applies to India. It doesn't really apply to Japan. You'd need to sit for their entrance exam. So the one you have right now doesn't hold much weight in Japan. You'd need to sit for the one that is designed for students who want to study in Japan, which is in Japanese, before being eligible. Um, th that is the minimum requirements to be able to study medicine in Japan.
Okay, thank you very much. So, do we have? We don't have like a complete guide on China, do we? This is South Korea, right? It's not visible. Yeah, okay, it's South Korea. Right. So if you have any other questions, keep them coming. More detailed, better we can help you. Well, I'm saying we. It's mostly Ayman. Okay. Other than that, I'm gonna move on to our third scholarship of the day. Hang on. Do we have a connection problem on YouTube? No. Okay, it's working fine. All right. Okay, so this is Amsterdam Merit Scholarships for master students at University of Amsterdam. This is for master students. As you can see, this one is like an example of the scholarships that are basically for specific subjects like business, economics, humanities, law, psychology, and science. Again, like there are specific subjects but they're quite vague, like science, business. Like it's not just one subject, very narrow. Okay, you're welcome. You're there. This is in University of Amsterdam. It's full funding, meaning it covers more than just tuition fees. There are no specific nationalities for this one. Every nationality is eligible. Admission deadline is September the 1st. So if you're interested, it's still open. And we have the coverage here. As you can see, different coverage for different levels. A partial tuition fee waiver for students in the Graduate School of Communication and Graduate School of Psychology. A cash award of 2,000 to 12,000 euros for students in Graduate School of Child Development and Education, a cash award of 15,000 euros for students in the Graduate School of Science, a cash award of 25,000 euros for students in the law school, and full tuition fees, and an additional allowance for 5,000 euros for students in the Graduate School of Business and Economics. So as you can see, it's a little detail, but we're going to see that further in a second. So the university, as you can guess, it's in Amsterdam, in Netherlands. As you can see, it's kind of a large school for Netherlands. We have 5 other scholarships as well. We have information here about like admission process, the deadlines here. Hi there. And as you can see, the tuition fees are kind of higher than like the universities we've seen in like China, even the one in Japan, but it's not as high as like the universities you would see in, I guess, United Kingdom, United States, or Canada. It's a good school if you want to see like where it is, what it looks like. If you want to study in Netherlands, a lot of people do. They have a high quality of education. So medicine in Japan, do they only have a common exam or university-based exam, sir? Do you know it, Eamon?
I'm sorry?
Medicine in Japan, do they only have a common exam or university-based exams?
Oh, I really am not sure, but it seems like it's a common exam.
Okay.
Just from what I've read a little earlier.
All right. Also, a quick Google search might answer that for you, or
Yeah.
ChatGPT. Of course, I wouldn't trust ChatGPT with something as important as this, but still. Okay, so this is where the university is. It's in Amsterdam. So this is the university, basically. If you want to study in Netherlands, it's right in the middle of the country. Might be a good pick for you. Yeah, and this is the school, basically. Let's look into the scholarship a little more in detail. As you can see, we have the eligibility criteria, able to satisfy the selection criteria of their chosen graduate school department. So basically, there are different scholarships for different departments. So, and they have their own criteria. So you would need to look into that, basically, specifically. We have application procedure here. Remember to apply for admission to University of Amsterdam first before applying for Amsterdam Merit Scholarship for master students. So you apply to the school first, and then you apply for the scholarship. We have deadlines here, and if you want to learn more, you can just click here on Apply Now to go to the university's page, right? And then you can like look into every single one of them by just clicking on the department. So basically, they have a very kind of a decentralized scheme here of their scholarships. You have to go to department. Like a lot of things are kind of up to the department. So I guess you could click here on economics and business to go see that particular scholarship. As you can see, Amsterdam Merit Scholarship, here it is. Application, outstanding students equal to tuition fee and 5,000 euros additional allowance. And let's say law school, for example. And for the academic year, one scholarship, 19,000 euros will be available. And as you can see, you can get more information, like further information on how to apply and etc. Right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So like it's like more than one scholarship for different departments. Ayman, do you want to add anything about this one?
Yeah, so it's quite the interesting scholarship. Different awards for different subjects, which is not common. Generally, it's the same award for all subjects, but they have an interesting approach to this. For anyone wondering if this is only for master students, they also have merit scholarships for undergraduate students, so you might want to check that out too, if you want to pursue an undergraduate degree. Other than that, the deadline is very, very soon for February intake, so I think it, it those who wanted to apply for this have already done so, or
Mhm.
are almost done with everything they need to submit. For those who just heard about this opportunity, there's the September 2025 intake, and the deadline for that is April 1st. So you might want to go for that one.
Right. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm seeing no new questions. I'm going to move on to our next and the last scholarship of the day, which is, oh, hang on. It is graduate students research assistantship at University of Michigan. So basically, we keep talking about school assistantships. Pretty much every week we see another one. Usually, mostly they're in the United States. An assistantship is kind of like going and working in the university, being employed by the university. So like you go to the university and work for like 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week, and then you get quite a lot of benefits from that. Usually they give you like your tuition fees, they cover your tuition fees. If there are any other fees, they also cover those. Then you get not like a stipend, but you get a payment, which mostly is like enough to live where the university is by itself. It's kind of like a salary. So this one is for research assistants. There are different types of assistantships. You can be a research assistant, just like this. You can be a teaching assistant. You can be an administrative assistant. There are different types of tasks that you go to the university go and do at the university based on the assistantship type. And so this one, for example, your voice is coming twice, just so you know how. I don't understand. Oh my god. Okay, I muted myself and then... All right, thank you very much. I guess when I unmuted myself, okay. Thank you very much for that. Sorry. Hi there. So basically, it like what they give you kind of differs based on the university. But like mostly they give you, as you can see for this one, for example, you get 100% of tuition fees for research assistants with a 25% or greater point fraction. What that means, I'm going to get into that in a second. Do you think if I do animation course from Japan, will I have a future? I guess that's about the program, Eamon. So I have to kind of defer to you. Animation course in Japan.
Probably, but I think the market is saturated as it is. I'm not sure about the future for an animation degree. Especially in Japan, it's quite competitive, and I believe that a lot of people go for that one. It's quite hard to predict the future as far as this degree is concerned, especially with the advancement of AI, and it could very well really take over, especially in fields where there's animation, drawing in general. So I believe that the human element would always be necessary and always will be appreciated, but at the same time, it's hard to predict the future. I can only give you some facts, like this one, like the influence of AI on such degrees is something that you need to take into consideration. Um, there are many talents that to this day probably didn't have the recognition they deserve who
Mhm.
pursued such degrees. So it's hard to recommend this degree, especially in a country where, in like Japan, where it is quite prominent. A lot of people want to go into that, so it's hard to actually find real success. I guess I don't particularly recommend it, but if you have the passion for it, if you believe that you could make it, for sure, yeah, you can go for it.
Yeah, it always kind of depend on like, and it's kind of difficult to at this point find kind of careers that are not really all that oversaturated, and like I believe it will be even more so in the future because of like how much demand on certain careers are changing. But
Hmm.
like I believe the one key point is that just like you said, if you're passionate about something, doesn't matter how much oversaturated a market is, you can always kind of like find ways to stand out. But I think like if you are passionate about animation, I think it might be a better idea to pursue that than medicine, just because like if you're thinking medicine is kind of like a safer option, like it's something that you're not all that passionate about or not all that interested in, but just like you think it's good because it's kind of a safer option. I think like that in that scenario, maybe like animation might be a better idea for you. Kind of depends on how patient you are on either about both like careers, I guess.
Yeah, it's always that debate between
Mm-hmm.
do I go for something that will guarantee financial security, or do I go for something that I'm passionate about, even though it's not really guaranteed that I would be financially stable doing it. Uh, so it is a hard choice, like when you go for something like medicine, where
Yeah.
you know you'll probably find success and it's almost guaranteed because there's always a need for
Mm-hmm.
doctors, and then there are degrees like animation. So I don't know. So my opinion was always, so when it came to this, is always to probably do go for the safer option and then pursue the other thing as a hobby. And then if you somehow start making a living off your hobby, then maybe you can pursue it seriously,
Mm-hmm.
because at this point you have seen a little bit of success there. But some people go for what they like, what they're passionate about, and find success. Some people
Yeah.
do it and then they end up just dropping it, going for something that is more financially stable, even though they don't like it. It's a person by person or situation by situation
Yeah.
kind of thing, and you can
There are
never
also
predict what. Mhm.
sorry, go on. There are
No, I'm
also a
just
lot of
saying you
people.
can predict him.
Yeah, yeah, go on, please, not go on.
No, that's it. Go ahead, please.
So like there are always also people who like go for safer options and then just hate it. Like I know so many people who study medicine like around me in the years, and they just hate it. Either they just cannot bring themselves to like finish the program, the degree, or like they somehow uh, finish it and they just like stop practicing it because they hate it so much, because they like those are the ones usually who went into medicine not because they like it, not because they're passionate about it, but just because like they think it's a good and safe career option, because it's really hard. Medicine is really hard. Yeah, I mean, it's something not only really hard, really difficult to study. It also is really difficult to keep practicing for years and years to come. So like I know I genuinely, there are so many, there are more than, I guess, like more than a handful of people around me who went to medicine to have like a successful career, to be financially stable, and then now they're just kind of dropping the career to do something else. Because in a lot of countries, for example in Turkey, but I don't know in other countries, it's not, they think like it's not worth the trouble of putting so much of your soul into a job that then you don't really enjoy. Like pay is good, financial stability is nice, but like it's sometimes it's not really worth it. There's that risk too, always. But I guess still it's kind of the safer option. I guess I would keep that in mind. If you're really passionate about medicine, helping people, I think it's one of the best options, one of the best career choices you can make. So yeah, I guess that's what
Yeah.
advice do we have. Mine is
but
less professional and more about like from my personal life. So yeah,
yeah, medicine remains a hard degree, a hard profession. Maybe you'll
yeah,
have shifts of 24 hours, you don't sleep. It's
hmm
not easy. Like maybe in theory, yes, it's noble, but it's by no means easy. You actually need to be passionate about medicine to pursue medicine.
yeah,
The responsibility is immense. Like the human life is in your hands. Um,
yes,
the
okay,
amount of studying, the years of studying. So everything needs to be factored in before pursuing such degree. It's not just because, I mean, I think there's this societal belief that everyone should be a doctor, everyone should be
yeah.
a lawyer, but it shouldn't. That shouldn't be the case. Like, I don't think that anyone should be pressured by anyone to pursue these degrees unless they're actually passionate about them.
Especially I see that for a lot of people who want to study abroad and then want to live in another country, in another culture, kind of like um what do you say, uh, things like medicine or more about like data science, computer engineering, and etc. Those kind of programs kind of seem more attractive because like the language is universal, right? So like if you medicine, go medicine, study medicine in a different country, you can just be a successful doctor in a country that you don't really know all that much and you kind of emigrated to. But like if you're working on something more that is like more based on social skills, it is way more difficult to adapt and become successful in a culture that is completely different to yours. Like there are a lot of people who does that, like who are struggling with that. In my from the people I believe, people I know, people from my own family, and etc. About research, and what do you say about research in Japan? What research specifically? Or Eamon, maybe you have a ready answer for
Um,
this?
yes, I have the exact same question. So, what kind of research in what field? Um, yes, you can pursue that, and universities are looking for at the
Bachelor's.
bachelor's level. Um, I don't, I don't think that's where research starts. So you start research at
Like
probably
10.
a master's. Yeah, research starts at a master's level, a PhD level, but uh, a bachelor's level, you just get the basics. You get acquainted with how research works, the methodology. So over those 3, 4 years, you have like a methodology course about research methodology, at the same time as any kind of theoretical knowledge about the course you're pursuing. And then research starts at an advanced level. So they're not just at a bachelor's level. It's really rare. Maybe your last year could be like a small a thesis, small dissertation. So it's not really like an actual dissertation, but it would be uh, a smaller version of that because they want to see how ready you are to be a researcher. So they need you to be acquainted with that. So some universities do that. But actual research starts at master's level, and to a higher degree, PhD. That's what PhD is all about. So yeah, so I wouldn't think about research at an undergraduate level at all.
I mean, like, sorry, I mean, like, officially, you don't really do a lot of like research work on in your like bachelor degree during your bachelor degree. But like, if you are interested in doing it later, and if you start looking into it and doing like at least becoming familiar with the research in your bachelor program, it really pays off afterward. Like in masters, I know so many people who like family like picked a certain area to like kind of like learn about, to study about during their bachelor's degree, and when they started their masters, they're like they know so much. Like it was way more easier for them to get like I don't know, like research scholarships or like assistantships and etc. So like if you officially don't do a lot of research work during your bachelor's degree, but like if you start doing it for yourself, it really pays off in like master's or PhD degrees. All right, so let's talk about this one, assistantship. So basically, again, we're going to talk about this 25% or greater appointment fraction, but hang on, what's going on? Okay, so something happened on YouTube, I don't know what. Anyway, so this is right. As you can see, your tuitions are covered, and then also your you get stipends, which is about like $26,000 per term based on the campus. There are more campuses actually than this, which is this is per term, by the way. This is not per year. Like even per year it would be about $2,000 per month, but I guess this is about like $4,000 per month, which is absolutely enough to live in Michigan. It's way more than what a lot of people make. Actually, it kind of puts you to around like 50K, which is kind of like average amount of money people earn. Well, it used to be. Now it's kind of like not that, but never mind. So you also get healthcare, which is extremely important in the United States. So the school, it's University of Michigan. It's kind of a large kind of school. There are six other scholarships as well. It's in Michigan. We're gonna see where it is. So we have admission process, information here, application deadlines here, and as you can see, tuition fees are about like $50,000, which is even for United States on the higher end. Like usually it is about from $30,000 to $60,000. So this is like on the higher end of tuition fees, even for USA standards. So keep that in mind. But this scholarship completely covers that. You don't pay a dime for tuition fees. So the scholarship, we have information here about coverage. We have eligibility criteria, students in good academic standing enrolling in a degree-seeking program with the minimum credit hours per term, which they give you more information. Remember to apply for admission to University of Michigan first before applying for graduate student research assistantship. So basically, for assistantships, we say this every week. You don't get the assistantship, then be admitted to the university. It's the other way around. First, you are admitted to university. You have to go there, start studying, and then you can get the assistantship if you get it. So you cannot really depend on the assistantship for studying there. You have to have your own savings or own funds to be able to study in the university. And if you go and get the assistantship, well, then you can keep your funds, keep your savings. And this scholarship is kind of generous in that sense. Like it gives you quite a lot of stipend. We have deadlines here. Again, exact deadlines vary depending on your chosen department or project. If you want to get even more information, again, as you can see, if you leave questions in any of our pages about a scholarship, a university page, doesn't matter, Jan answered them for you. Pretty much every question is answered. If you want to get more information, you can come here, click on apply now to go to the university's page. Usually pages for assistantships have a lot of information because they are kind of detailed and complicated because, as I said, they're kind of like, hang on, okay, they're kind of like being employed by the university, which is why it's quite complicated because like employment process has a lot of details. So assistantship process also does have a lot of detail. You can get more information here about like the enrollment requirements and credit hours, not less than 5 credit hours, and period of appointment. Where is that? So basically, also we have like the salary information here, how much you get. What is your POV about G30 scholarship? That's the one in Japan, right? Eamon, I guess you would have a better idea, better grasp on that. What do you think? Eamon? Can you hear me? Which country is offering the above? This one, this scholarship, if you're asking for this scholarship, it's United States. It's in it's University of Michigan. Oh, we didn't see the university actually. Hang on, Eamon, I cannot hear you because your mic is muted. Now your mic is not muted, but I still cannot hear you if you're speaking. Nope, still cannot hear you. And I think like if I cannot hear you, probably the live stream also cannot hear you. Okay, while
can you hear me?
Hello. Yep, I can hear you right now. And okay, so live stream also should be hearing you.
Oh, I'm not sure what happened because I was trying to unmute and mute, but neither way worked. Okay, so they asked about the G30 scholarship. I mean, it is a good scholarship. I think it is fully funded. So at the undergraduate level, I think it's a good one because I believe mixed is for graduate students, which is the more known scholarship in Japan. It's the government scholarship that everyone really applies for. Yeah, so by all means, if you have good grades and you can get a few letters of recommendation from some of your teachers, you can go for the Global 30 scholarship.
Right, someone asked about does it have an online way to study as a graduate? If you're asking about the assistantship, of course not. I'm not even sure how can you become an assistant, work as an assistant. And yes, voice incoming. If I am an average student.
I mean,
for G30.
Yeah, so if you are an average student for any scholarship, it is quite difficult to secure or be awarded one in general. They are all competitive, and all students from all over the world, those with high grades, those with low grades, apply for them. So you'll be facing quite the competition. Probably you should go for a lesser competitive scholarship, maybe one that only covers tuition or one that is partially funded, because you would have more chances there. Sometimes they're tiered, and there are some that are for students with lower GPAs. But for the G30, I think since you can see that it's fully funded, many students will be applying for it, even if the minimum requirements are, say, a GPA of 3.0, it will go higher and higher. I mean, we can't really suggest a scholarship. You can probably go to our database and filter by full tuition or partially funded, and then look at the list of scholarships that are available there. They are lesser known. They are just scholarships offered by universities, and you can go through those.
So yeah, I guess, like, for example, doing something like, for example, we talked about how Chinese schools and scholarships are kind of slept on. A lot of people don't really go for those. Maybe going for a country, like going for an option that doesn't already, wouldn't force you quite a lot in terms of like financial expenses, might be a better idea. For example, in China, you would pay less tuition fees, your living expenses would be less. Or for example, if you would look for Europe, a lot of the countries, a lot of the universities have much lower tuition fees, which would also which would mean that you would be able to support yourself with smaller, maybe partial scholarships. So like those scholarships would be less, I guess, competitive. That might be a good idea, like putting yourself in a position where you don't already need a very competitive scholarship. That might be a good idea for like a for like an average student, I guess. What do you think about that, Ayman?
Yeah, I think that's generally good advice.
All right. Okay, so let me just finish talking about this one. So anyway, so we have something called appointment fraction. I believe there's no real information here. I kind of looked into that. I think it's about like how much, like what percentage of it is of 40 hours a week, like a working week, and like 25% is 10 hours. So if you have like if you work for more than 10 hours, which is usually what universities consider as like part-time assistantship. So if you are working more than 10 hours, your tuition fees are covered. If you're working for more than if you're working for like 20 hours, which is 50%, then you also get the stipend. You can see the stipend amounts. Hang on. Where is it? Here. They give you the information and the, as you can see here, right? So yeah, that's basically it. Assistantships at Michigan University. Do you want to add anything about this one, Ayman?
I think you've mentioned everything, including the general disclaimer about assistantships not being awarded at the time of admission, but way after. I think the one thing that makes this one stand out is the amount of the tuition, which is quite generous. That's a lot in terms of compensation in comparison to many universities, even the ones in bigger states and the states where you actually need this kind of compensation to live. Yeah, so to be awarded 24,000 per term and not per year, so it's like having an actual job instead of a somewhat part-time job that doesn't exceed 20 hours per week. It's a really good opportunity. I believe that it will be very competitive and a lot of people would be going for it. But
Mhm.
for students who actually get it, it's an amazing funding opportunity that you should actually go for regardless of whether you think that you can get it or not.
Yeah. Okay. According to you, which course is good in science field? Kind of a vague question, but like I guess that's the point. What do you think?
In science, I mean, it really depends on you as a person because I can suggest any field and it would be good, but at the same time, it could not be for you. A lot of people just go for a, a field of science because it's recommended, because there are jobs within this field, but they drop out within a year of two because it wasn't for them. So you would actually like the best advice I can give you and the best course I can suggest is the one you're actually interested in. So if you're good in mathematics, you can go for a degree that is heavily uh, focused on mathematics. If you're good at physics, you can go for a field that is heavily focused on physics, and so on. So this applies to every field of science, dependent on your scores back in high school. Yes, there are good fields. Like you can see that data analytics is good. Big data is a good field. Uh, Computer science in general. Yeah, software engineering. So all of these are good fields, but it just depends on you as a person. You can go into AI because well, there's a future in AI. We can see the advancements already, uh, but at the same time, all of these suggestions might not work for you. So you need to just reflect on what you're good at in general and what you enjoy, and then choose a course within that. It doesn't have like if you're good at mathematics, it doesn't have to be mathematics, but something that is actually that has mathematics involved. And the same goes for all the subjects and courses you want to choose.
Okay, thank you very much. All right then, this is it from our side. If you have any other questions, everyone in the chat, I want to understand what global scholarships is about. I think that's the question. Basically, it is just like about sharing information about scholarships, about studying abroad. As you can see, we have different guides. We have a YouTube channel where we share a lot of informative stuff. This is just free information for everyone. Like we also have a newsletter. As you can see, you can sign up from here, going to globalscholarships.com, email subscription. I am like I've subscribed to this. Like I get mails about like available opportunities kind of tailored to me, for example from like Turkish people, like what opportunities are best for people from Turkey, and etc etc. So yeah, this is kind of a sharing free information about scholarships and opportunities on studying abroad. Basically, that's pretty much it. Yeah, this is us. This is it from our side today. If you have any other questions, just type them in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them. What's the website again? globalscholarships.com. This is it. Again, as you can see, we have a lot of guides. We have a lot of informative stuff here. We have a free search tool where you can search for scholarships. As you can see, if you have anything in mind, United Kingdom, for example, just type in and you can go to the results and etc. You can filter the degree, location, scholarship type, scholarship deadline, subjects, nationalities, and etc. and find scholarships. If you click on any of them, it will take you to our page for that basic specific scholarship, which will give you pretty much every piece of information you might need for that scholarship, like the summary, coverage, eligibility, application procedure, deadlines, and if you want more, you can just go to the university's page. And if you leave a question in the comment section, Eamon, our founder, will answer them for you. Please make for Boston and York. If you are talking about the universities, we have a lot of stuff about those universities and scholarships that are available on those universities in our YouTube page. Like if you're asking for application tutorials, basically most universities in the USA accept applications from Common App, which you can find on our Cornell University tutorial. We'll do more videos on that too, but like they were not all that popular. How did you sign up for the email newsletter? So okay, you go to our website globalscholarships.com, right? And hang on, let me see how I cannot show you. So basically, hang on, let me see. So can you see this? Okay. So in About Us section, you have here newsletter sign up in globalscholarships.com. So again, go to globalscholarships.com. Go to here, this little, can you see this? My mouse is not, okay. So you go to here, this little, how am I supposed to show it? Those three lines, right? Open the menu, About Us. Oh, come on. Come on. This frame rate thing is driving me insane. So, right? And About Us section. No, it's not working. Hang on. Let me just refresh the page. The old websites sometimes work in this frame rate, sometimes they don't. So About Us, we have newsletter sign up, right? Okay, good. Sorry about that. It just like frame rate doesn't work. Sorry. And scholarships in China. So again, you can go to globalscholarships.com and type in China. Choose the country. We have all the scholarships here, about 112 of them. I'm expecting more, but like here's the thing about scholarships in China. Most of them are not partial. Most universities in China, they do have these one basic scholarship for everyone, for every degree, for undergraduate. Yeah, they're pretty much the same. For example, this is undergraduate Chinese program. This is, you can just filter here. Let's say bachelor's China. If you have like, you can also filter for your country or subject that you're interested in. Hang on. As you can see, subject and nationality. But about subject, keep in mind that if the university does not offer that subject, what about the UK? Okay, we're gonna see. If the university does not offer that subject, you cannot get the scholarship for that subject, of course. So as you can see, these are the scholarships. For example, you can click on any of these. Usually these are kind of like different tiers. As you can see, third class, second class, first class. Usually the first, like the highest tier, gives you tuition fees and stipend, like allowance. Pretty much in every university in China you will find engineering. Every school, pretty much like every scholarship you will see here is available for engineering, but also you can just, hang on, you can just go to subject and type in engineering, right? As you can see, it's the same, it's about the same, like it excluded like 4. You can just, these are the first ones that it shows you are specifically for engineering. As you can see, we have just 1 here, but other ones are also available for engineering. I'm completely confused in the application process in Chinese universities. They are kind of confusing. if you have a specific school in mind, we have made a couple of tutorials on Chinese schools applications. They're on our YouTube channel. I think I'm gonna look into this. Look into that. I think we have done one for USTC, one for Tsinghua University. So they take you from Peking. I'm not sure if we've done an application tutorial for that, but like look into our YouTube channel. You might get more information. I might start making more tutorial videos. It's kind of depending on the how popular are they. Are these Chinese schools taught in English? So some of them, for example, this is usually some universities, for example, Jiatong University. Some of the programs are for Chinese, scholarships are for Chinese programs. Some of them are, as you can see, English and French program. So some scholarships are for English taught programs. Some of them are for Chinese. Are there any universities? Yes, you have done, but not covered application process. No, not for Peking, no. But like some of the tutorials we have are just like step-by-step process tutorials. Basically, they take you from like the Google search to the point where you have to pay the application fee. I've done some of those for Chinese universities and scholarships in Turkey. We have like 3 in Koç University in our database. Of course, other schools also offer them as well. So I have done a couple of them, like very comprehensive step-by-step application tutorials for Chinese universities. They were not that popular, so we decided to do other things. So like, but you can still get a lot of information from those two. They are a bit confusing. Are there any universities that can allow partially working environments and studying all together? What do you think, Ayman? I'm gonna look into making more tutorial videos in the future. So that's one of that they were kind of popular, but some of them did not do all that well, and we decided to like spend our time for things that people are kind of like more helpful to people. So but I'm gonna look into that again. Sorry, Ayman, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, there are many universities that allow you to work like within campus or actually to have a part-time job as an international student. It depends, of course, on the country. It depends on the university. All of this information will be available on the university's website. They will specifically tell you that you will be or you won't be allowed. Generally, it's under frequently asked questions because international students are generally interested in knowing that. So if you want to apply to any university, just go to the frequently asked questions section and you'll find the information you're looking for. We can't really narrow it down or give you a list of universities because these kind of policies change every year, maybe every couple of years. So it's hard to keep up with all of them, but you will definitely find the information on the university's website.
So also for Turkey, there is Türkiye bursları, Turkey scholarships. These are also like not by just one university, but like they are for everyone who wants to study in Turkey. Basically, they also give you like you apply for the scholarship, and they also put you in a university as well. So that's how the scholarships work. But one thing about Turkey, please keep in mind that before even like considering coming to Turkey, keep in mind that you have to be really careful about the economy, because economy is extremely complicated at the moment. Pretty much every number you see on the internet, they are irrelevant the moment you see them. So that's how the economy works right now in Turkey. So like if we want to see, for example, let's see like the benefits Turkey scholarships. Like we have Y criteria and scholarship programs. I think maybe we can see. We have application criteria here, eligibility, full-time scholarship programs, short-term. So yeah, like they give you a number. Are there any scholarships in Switzerland for undergraduate? Let's see. For undergraduate, I'm not sure. We've seen some for graduate students. But there are 32, 23 in total, and about 13 for undergraduates. You can look into these. We have like excellent scholarship for bachelor students. Arnoldo Bettolini. Most of them are, as you can see, kind of like partial funding. Some of them are, yeah, it's like it is, and like most scholarships will not cover your living expenses completely. Just look into this. Like you can use our search tool and see those. But like keep in mind that, yeah, as you said, it's extremely expensive to live there. We have, can you give tips on motivation letters for Turkey scholarships? Do they really take these letters serious? I'm not sure about that. I don't have that specific information. Ayman, maybe you do. Like I know I'm from Turkey, so I know quite a lot of things about Turkey, but I'm not sure about the scholarships. For example, yeah, I was saying this one. For example, we have like monthly stipends here. Keep that in mind. These are like, you have to look for how often these are updated, because as you know, probably inflation is extremely high in Turkey. So do you know anything about this one, Ayman? Like how much do they take seriously those letters, motivation
Not the
letters?
specific scholarship, but in general, um, for all scholarships, letters of motivation are taken very, very seriously. They are the one thing that can tell whoever's looking at your application who you really are as a person, what your motivation is. As far as the scholarship is concerned, do you meet their expectations? Are you what they're looking for as a person? So yeah, that's the one probably piece of information within all of your application that would actually give them uh, some insight into who you are. So I believe they take them quite seriously, maybe even more seriously than a letter of recommendation, because you can ask someone to write that for you, and they can actually try to be nice, write something nice about you, but something that you write yourself about your motivation and that makes you stand out among all other applicants is very important. So you should take it seriously, and you should assume that they take it seriously.
Yeah, that's right. Is IELTS needed for Nordic countries?
Yes, if you want to study in English. So that's just the rule of thumb. If you want to study in English, a language proficiency test is required, be it IELTS, TOEFL, for some Duolingo, but in general, they are a requirement unless you have received education or higher education in English prior to you applying to the university. Then you can ask for an exemption, and they would give you that just because you studied in English before. Other than that, you would need it, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so I guess that's it. We don't have any new questions. Yes, I received my high school education in English. Hmm.
Then
All right.
probably you would qualify, but the cases I know of are higher education in English, so an undergraduate degree, a degree in English, then you apply for a master's. I know that's a possibility, but I'm not sure about high school. It could be maybe you can get some kind of certificate from your high school that you studied in English.
Which country also? Which country did you get your education in high school? I think like if it's in a English speaking country, I guess that's
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that goes without saying. Like, if you're a native speaker of English, then
Yeah.
it's
India.
you don't need it. Yeah, I mean, I think uh, if you're from India, generally, like if I'm not sure if where exactly in India you're located, but I think some parts of India, people are considered native speakers of English. So it just depends. Yeah, I mean, to be safe, you can ask for a certificate from your university, and then contact any university you want to apply to. Ask them if it would be possible to just submit that, or if they need the actual exam, and they would be more than happy to help you with that.
Yeah, universities usually like, for example, let's go to I don't know, this one, Finland, this school, and like we have information like links for information on application, like international student admissions, right? You can go to universities pages for admission. They usually have that information for their like eligibility. As you can see, language requirements, you can just like look it up on, as you can see, for specific universities. Like that is usually they put that somewhere you can find quite easily. It's very accessible. This one, for example, as you can see, one of the international tests below. You should choose IELTS. When is a language test not required? Certain cases is not required. In such case, requirements from programs. Yeah. Can you tell me, is it too late for scholarships in Japan? Hmm. Well, let's see how many open scholarships do we have in Japan. For undergraduates, I am guessing we have quite a lot of scholarships that are open for application. Sorry, no, not right now. Hang on. Let me just choose currently open. We have about 15, but keep in mind some of these programs, some of these scholarships, to be able to apply for these scholarships, you have to be admitted to the school. So maybe like these are open right now, but maybe you have missed the application, the admission process, admission deadline for the university. You can look into these. Maybe Eamon would have better information on that.
Yeah, it just depends on what you mean by too late. Maybe too late for this year, probably for most of them, but for next year, uh, it's not too late. And even if there were a few months or just like a month or a few days open for a month or a few days, it's not enough. You need to start preparing at least 6 months to a year before. Um, that's just the general time you need to apply for scholarships. It just doesn't happen overnight. A lot of preparation goes into these. And the fact that a scholarship is open for like the remainder of this month or next month, it's not enough time for anyone to apply. So maybe if you have missed the scholarships this year, you can apply next year can start preparing now. It's not too late because you're probably in time to start the preparation. Yeah, if that's what you meant by too late, it's not.
Right. Also, like if you're interested in getting the latest information, I advise you to sign up for our newsletter. Like Global Scholarships send you emails about like scholarship opportunities that are available right now. So like if you want to keep up with that, our newsletter is quite good as far as that, like as my experience goes. Okay, all right. So I think that's it for today. I'm gonna have like a moment, like a couple of seconds, maybe 10 seconds lull here before ending our live stream. Thank you very much everyone for joining us. If you're watching this on VOD, thank you very much for watching. Again, we are on YouTube, Global Scholarships, and we also have our website, globalscholarships.com. As you can see, we have quite a lot of informative stuff on our YouTube channel, guides, and like videos about opportunities, currently open scholarships, and etc. We have a TikTok account where we post consistently post videos too. So if you're interested, check those out. Also use our search tool to find scholarships. It's completely free. It doesn't require registration or anything. So yeah, that's pretty much from us. That's pretty much it from us. So okay, thank you very much for being here with us. We'll be here next week, same day, same hour. If you have any questions, again, you can ask them in our comment section on globalscholarships.com or our YouTube channel. Like if you don't, we'll be here next week. You can come and ask your questions next week on the live stream. So yeah, I guess see you next week. Bye everyone. Oh, Eamon, thank you very much for joining me here today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye everyone. See you next week.